and welcome to Restaurante Coto at Paso de Andeade. And today I'm going to show you guys how to make a very simple bread dough that you can use to make pizza. You can use it to make flatbread like pita bread, or you can even make bread rolls with it. It's low hydration, so it's very easy to knead, and it has very few ingredients, and I've broken it down in cups. So I'm making 2 batches here, since I'm going to show you 3 different types of uses for it. So the recipe is very simple. It's basically 3 cups of flour to 1 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of yeast, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of olive oil. So we're going to start with our flour, and you can sift it if you want to, but I'm trying to make this as simple as possible so you can do it at home with very little things. So we're going to measure out our flour, and you want to make sure you don't go over because the hydration is low. So if you put too much flour in it, you will have to add more water. So we got 1, 2, and 3. Now also, just to remind you that the water I'm using is lukewarm. It will help also to activate your yeast. You don't want cold water in it. And the proofing time for this is about 1 hour. Make sure we get 1. So we have 1 cup. It just goes straight into there. And then we're going to put our yeast. Just sprinkle it on. And our salt. A lot of people might say, oh, don't put the salt in until later because it'll kill your yeast. It's just 1 teaspoon of salt, and you can just spread it around. It will not do anything. And then our oil. So now basically now that we have all our ingredients in the bowl, we're just going to mix them together. I like to use a fork and start from the outside to the inside, and then you're going to get it until it becomes like crumbs. This is the stage where you will see if you might need a little bit of more water. If it's too dry, you could put a few drops, but if you follow the measurements, you shouldn't need to do anything. And you want to scrape your bowl, make sure you get all of it. And then you want to turn it until it starts to become a ball. And basically that's our dough. Now you're gonna want to dip your fingers in a little flour and then bring it together, and you want to fold it. And because this is a low hydration dough, it won't stick. You just want to roughly knead it for about a minute. And you can just fold it into itself, and we're just going to let it sit there now until it doubles in size. It should be anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour. That's ideal. Right now here we're about 65 degrees Fahrenheit. We're still in the winter, so this will take a bit longer. Ideally you want to proof your dough at about 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 26 degrees Celsius. So we're gonna let it rest and then come back. So our dough has doubled in size. It took a little longer than an hour, but as I said, the temperature here is a bit cold. We're gonna just take a bit of flour for our hands and put a bit of flour on top, and then we're just gonna roll our dough out. And just dust the surface a bit. And we're gonna knead it just a little bit till we get it nice and smooth. Doesn't take too much work. And there we have. Now, so if I'm gonna make the pita bread or the flat bread, I'm gonna divide this dough basically in 6 parts. So you can use a scale, you want to measure, but we're only doing 6 pieces. And then what you want to do is roll them. Make them into a nice little ball. Take some flour. You're gonna flatten it out with your hand. And then use your rolling pin, flour it. Now when you're making this type of flatbread, because it's gonna be a stovetop one, you do wanna get it a bit thin if you want it to rise. And it doesn't have to be perfectly round, because once they puff up, they will take shape. And you don't need to proof them again. You just want to lightly dust them with flour. And then we're gonna cook it. So we got our pan nice and hot, and we're gonna put in, and you're gonna cook it for a few seconds on one side. And you can use a spatula to flip it. I will just use my hands. Just be careful not to burn yourself. And we're gonna flip it a couple of times. As it starts puffing up. And as you can see, it'll start puffing up. And then you want to flip it. And look at that. And as soon as it reaches full puff, then it's ready to go. Just give it one little turn more for a bit more coloring. And there's your flatbread. And then all you have to do is just let them cool down a little bit. Now for the bread rolls, the way I like to do them, again, a bit of flour on your hands. And then I like to take them and squeeze the balls. And we're going to put them in an oil pan, and you want to put them actually pretty close together, and you will have to proof them for another hour. A bit more flour if it starts to stick. I like this method because they come out basically all the same size. Always the last ones. And then what we have is a bread mold. You can use any kind of mold. You can do them on a flat tray. And we're gonna just slightly oil it. And the idea is that when they get bigger, they will stick together, and then you can break them up. But that also helps the steam. And we're gonna dip this side in oil and stick it in there. You don't have to be too gentle with it. It's quite a resilient dough. You can see, just dip the side. Last one in there, and then what we're going to do is just brush them a bit with oil. And we're going to proof them covered for about 1 hour before we bake them. So we've baked our bread rolls at 180 degrees Celsius in the oven for about 22 minutes. You can go 22, 24. And ideally, what you want to do is, when you do this at home, is put a small bowl, metal bowl, with some water at the bottom of your oven. That gives you a bit of steam during the cooking, and you get a nice crusty top. So we're gonna take them out of the mold. And then all we do is we just break them up, and you get this beautiful bread rolls. Because we proof them together and stuck together, you get a nice soft interior. And there you are with the same dough that we made our pita bread or flat bread with. We've also made this bread rolls, and after that we're gonna make some pizza with the kids. So for the third part of our video, as we said, we did one dough and we were gonna make 3 different breads. We're gonna make pizza, and I have my assistants here. These are my kids, and they're gonna help us make the pizza. So Jack, we're gonna season our tomato sauce, and it's just plain crushed tomatoes. Can you put some oregano in there, Jack? Come on, more.
A lot?
Yeah, throw it all in.
Oh.
There we go. Now, put some olive oil, put about half of that. That's it. And now, put in a couple of pinches of salt. Now mix it together. Mix it, turn it around. Come on, mix it. Come on, Jack. And that's all we want to do, is just a bit of olive oil, a bit of oregano, and your plain tomato sauce. That's good. Now we're going to put this to one side, and we're going to start with the dough. So, first of all, you guys need a bit of flour in your hands. Put a bit of flour like this and rub it in. That's it, that's good. All right. Now, what we want to do is, first let Jack in, flatten it out, push down, push hard. Ryan, push. Okay, now we're gonna go with our rolling pin.
I would do it.
First we put a bit of flour on it and push. Go all the way to the end. Go all the way to the end. Roll it. And you turn it. Roll it. Now let's see. Ryan, come on, have a go. Roll the pin. That's good. Keep rolling. Now we're going to turn it. And this dough is very forgiving, so you don't have to worry too much. Keep going. No. From the middle, and then come down. Then we turn it, wait. And go down. And let's go again. And again. And then we want to put it on top of.
Jack?
Stretch it out a bit. The head works out really well for this kind of thing because it's nice and round. And the gravity helps it. Take the rolling pin out. And we're just going to roll it a bit thinner.
Daddy, you did that.
Now, Ryan, like this. Do the edges like this. All right, now we're gonna put our tomato sauce on there. Wait. Put it in the middle. One more. All right, now Ryan, I want you to do this like this in circles until it gets to the edges. No, it's a small circle. Go on this side here. Go all the way to the edge. Here we go. Now what we're gonna do is, Jack, you're gonna brush a bit of olive oil on the edges, like this, like you're painting, and do the edge. The edge. Here. Do the edge. Put a bit more tomato sauce. That's perfect. All right, Ryan, cheese time. Take both your hands and grab two, but don't squeeze the cheese. Like that, and then sprinkle it around. Excellent. Jack, you want to put some cheese on there? Or are you going to eat it all? Keep going, Ryan. So what we have here is about 14 ounces of cheese, just grated mozzarella. And obviously this is a margarita pizza. Come on guys, let's get some cheese on there. Stop eating it. Look, in the places where you have holes. And we're really loading this up with cheese. No, don't press it. There we go. Last bit. And we're ready to go to the oven.
I opened both.
And here, guys, is your creation. Dinner is served. Enjoy. Please subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with all of our recipes and great dishes. Thank you very much.